Take my throat a little here first. I love this. You can hide stuff under here.
Nice.
What a pleasure to be back with all of you again. Maui poet friends, you welcome me with open arms, your smiling faces and magic charms. To be back here is a miracle indeed, especially with poets of such a peaceful creed. I started with Maui Live in about 1998 and found it was to be my great fate to meet Melinda, Elcida, Frank, Lawrence, and all of you, opening the poetry world, expanding my view. Wailuku Library was my second Maui Live session. For me, it was a poetic, expanding lesson. I entered the room to find a man in a round African hat. We looked at each other and wondered, who is that? It was Lawrence. I rummaged through a maze of library aisles to find rhymes and poets of different styles. It wasn't very long until I was hearing sweet verse from the poets of peace who read and didn't need to rehearse. They could read from a book or a loose paper they had found or just make up poetry from anything around. Their talent was exciting and motivating indeed. They perked up my interest and planted a seed. It grew and it sprouted and led me back to you. My poetry seed now blossomed in a brand new hue. You invited me to retreats out on the beach to commune with nature and stretch my poetry reach. I learned your unique personalities and ways. I think of you warmly on so many cold winter days. It's good to be back with all of you again. I like to think of you, each of you as some special kind of friend. So here I go with a reading today to dedicate to each of you in every way a thought or two on times present and past, and assure you that when all is said and at last, you are really the poetry you know. The words you write always show your soul. And so I dedicate these poems today to you, my friends. Just remember that no matter where the road leads or how it bends, your words have struck a special chord in me. And for that, I thank you endlessly.
Yay. You can get lots of applause for that one, right?
How you like
That's
that?
awesome. Good job.
Thank you. This poem I got published in the Possibilities book from the Writings of the Page Writers Group. And I had a few poems, but you've heard those before. So I'm going to do this one. And they give you 10 minutes to write on this prompt, like you always do at the retreats. And this one was called Music is the Language Everybody Understands. And I was trying to figure out, I was here, and I couldn't get, nothing came to me. And finally I just got my chair out of my trunk on the bridge in Lahaina, pulled it out, and went over there and wrote this short little poem. Music is the language everybody understands. I am sitting here in Lahaina, Maui, situated on the bridge. I view the Pacific from my lawn chair. These waves are the rhythm here. The cars wishing by are the sound of brushes on a drum. The buses and motorcycles are the percussion. The tourists passing by are the lyrics to the song. And the tune carries on, sometimes a cacophony, sometimes a smooth melody, other times a full concerto or symphony. Old Lahaina town plays on. I am one of its instruments. There is harmony here, and I know that this music is the language everybody understands. I have to write something about Lahaina, of course. Arrival poem, a little different. Haycraft Park, Malaya, February 13th, 2010. Maybe some of you are old enough to remember the five-man electrical band from 1970. Signs, signs, everywhere signs. Don't do this one, yeah, okay. Parking? None. Drop stuff off at entrance. Go search for parking spot. And the sign says, No parking. Emergency vehicle access only. All others will be towed. And I say, since I am feeling a sense of emergency myself, can I then park there? And the sign says, no camping in park. And I say, doesn't matter. I can't get into the park anyway. And the sign says, gates close at 7 p.m. And I say, sad, but I'm still driving around looking for parking. And the sign says, park watch. Keep a close eye on your parks. Report crimes and suspicious activities. And I say, I'm about to perpetrate a crime myself by parking on the sidewalk. And the sign says, unlawful to use loudspeakers. And I say, how about screaming, I can't find a freaking parking spot here. And the sign says, no consumption or possession of intoxicating liquor allowed in parking lot. And I say, since I can't even get into the lot anyway, isn't it time for me to open this bottle of bourbon now? And the sign says, fires are forbidden, unless in a grill or hibachi. And I say, probably doesn't matter since it doesn't look like I'll get a fireside chat anyway today. And the sign says, no parking, access aisle. And I say, yes, now we have come full circle, back to the parking conundrum. But there is no access. There isn't even an aisle. Signs, signs, everywhere signs. Do this, don't do that. Signs, signs, everywhere signs. Read the signs. Excuse me a second. Speaking of losing it, I remember assistant principal where I taught once. She got so angry she went out and slammed the door so hard that the glass broke in the window.
Oh.
And I've slammed a few doors in my time too. but this I called losing it. Remember when you lost it? When you slammed the door so hard the glass didn't just crack, but it shattered and fell to the floor? Fragments of anger spilling onto the ground, bits and pieces of shimmering crinkles and shards crunched under your shoes. Then the fear filled you, replacing the anger like a glass of vinegar, half drunk, emptying and refilling at the same time, out with anger, in with fear. And so it was in the discovery of your own weakness, your own vulnerability, your frailty and losing control, that you knew you had the power to destroy. And like a worm crawling through an apple, you had a momentary seizure of lunacy and rage. And the door and the window paid the price. But something more was lost in the moment. Your self-control gone. Your humility vanished. Inner peacefulness traumatized. You realize that all that anger, violence, war resides somewhere inside that space of brain where your propensity for evil dwells, the weakness of spirit that when unleashed becomes the monster that destroys. So we remember when we lost it, and we fear its return, lurking there waiting to spring forward and wreak havoc again. We hide that moment away in a safe place to keep it absent and controlled. And like Pandora, we lock the box once again, and we hope never to open it. But evolution has not yet allowed us to bury that demon forever. But then, we humans do open that Pandora box over and over again, don't we? And then we boast about our great accomplishments. Universal symphony. So here it is. War, poverty, disease, anger, hate, prejudice, pain. So here it is. Injustice, jealousy, cheating, fraud, terrorism, hysteria, racism. So here it is. Avarice, greed, transgressions, argumentations, and violence in politics, religions, ideologies, philosophies. So intelligent, I, human being, I am. Fire, wheel, penicillin, energy, atom, computer, space traveler. all my doing, so full of myself and my accomplishments, I forget that I am the cacophony in nature's harmonious opus. But it really doesn't matter. The universal symphony plays on, ignoring my boasts, and I imagine myself as a useful instrument, playing along, out of tune, striking my own arrogant chords, ignoring all others, constant crescendo, banging my voice loudest to force all others to hear me only. But the universe helps me orchestrate my demise. This one, I'm using the Briggs method. And I think he'd read this a whole lot better than I do, but I just had, I had to bring this one tonight. He influences me with this kind of reading. Living on the edge of paradise. This is written after leaving Maui Medical Center Hospital with my second bout of cellulitis within 8 months in my left leg. And I thought, this is a wake-up call. I'm living in paradise on the edge of hell, yes, living in paradise, and I have a story to tell. I crossed the line, fell off the curb, the devil grabbed me. My leg he did burn. I lost my balance, didn't know where I was, in a whirlwind of memories of sweet paradise lost. I'm living in paradise on the edge of hell, yes, living in paradise, and I have a story to tell. The searing pain spread up my leg, enveloping me in its awful web. I was lost and confused. Paradise became living in a hospital bed. All hope was draining, fear, dread, agony exploding. How to escape this hellish loathing? Living in paradise on the edge of hell. Yes, living in paradise, and I have a story to tell. Then a mist appeared, a face in the shadows. Above me from heaven such strange bedfellows. Your profile became familiar and your smile beamed bright, but Satan held on in the middle of this dark night. I'm living in paradise, on the edge of hell. Just living in paradise, and I have a story to tell. You struggled to save me. More angels you did call. Soon an army appeared. The demon plan you did stall. I saw your faces so clear and true, I knew I would be saved, thanks to all of you. You tugged and you pulled until the devil let me loose. You got me back and saved me from that evil noose. And so, my friends, back to paradise I return, bearing the mark of the devil, a scar that will always burn. Some folks enjoy the etch of tattoos, but I gladly switch mine for theirs and lose the memory of that whole affair. So be careful, my friends. Do what you need to do. Do not delay, because the devil is watching you. For we are all living in paradise on the edge of hell. Listen, can you hear the distant death bell knell? That's Then there's the other side here. Now the happy side of paradise. The perfect day. How do I put a price on this perfect day? Sunshine and waves and beach, swimming in the ocean, the salt water soothing my tired body and healing my wounds. How do I put a price on this perfect day? I see the whales splashing out near Kahaholavi, and my heart flips with them. I sit on the beach after my swim and breathe in the clean, salty air, fragrance of tropical flowers mixed in. Leaving the shore, I return home to shower and then to dinner, seaside cafe, more whales, setting orange and yellow sun, sinking into the outrageously blue Pacific, dusk and balmy, cool breezes. Returning to my condo, I sit on the lanai and say, star bright, star night, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might have the wish I wish tonight. And then I say, make it possible for everyone to feel this way in this moment. Sleep overcomes me in the somnolence of the breeze, and I am content beyond all my expectations, and I have no reason to wish for anything more. I am at peace. I have the miracle that I long for, and there is no reason to want more. I sleep in the arms of paradise and have no cares or worries. Serenity surrounds me, and I am happy beyond all reason.
You should all read that every night.
Yeah, it's like a
Before we go to
prayer.
bed. Yeah.
Okay, and now I end this tribute to you and look forward to being with friends so true. Keep on writing those peaceful verses. Ignore the negative and the world's curses. You give the world hope for a better day and help us keep all the skeptics at bay. You nurture us with words of peace and help us all feel a sense of tranquility. So thank you, friends. Sleep well tonight. Being with you is always such a delight. Knowing that you made the world a better place, and may the peace poem muse always shine upon your face. Thank you.